Okay, in this section, we are going to learn about the functions. Functions are block of code that perform specific tasks. They are designed to perform a specific task, actually. Um, and then they promote usability of the code and then making um, making other programs easy. Maybe you want to use it in a different program, it makes it easier for you to use. So there are two types of function. We have the user defined and then the standard library functions. The user defined functions are made by human, like the user, the one that the programmer himself. And then the standard library is the when you install your GCC compiler into your system. It is already there. It already exists inside the system automatically. So we have the inline functions and then the virtual functions. The inline functions, they are functions where the compiler replaces the function call with the functions code. Okay, but we'll be doing with the user defined and the standard ones for now. So, what are some of the benefits of this function? Functions help to break down codes or instructions into simpler forms for use. Yes, it makes it instead of writing every instruction on one paper or one sheet, it makes it easier for you to use because the functions, for example, when it is user defined, the functions are stored in a different file. The Each function or each task is being stored in a different file. So breaking it down into smaller units to be understandable. Now, how do you declare a function? To declare a function, you bring the return type, the function name, and then the parameters for the function. So our int main here is also a function. It has the return type. It has the return type. Yeah, that's the type of value it should return. And then the main, which is the name of it, and then the parentheses in which will contain the code, which will create which will contain the parameters for the code. Yes. So maybe you want to create um, a function to add two numbers. So we can just do something like this. We can do type int, then no int okay sum, then the you open your curly braces, yeah, sorry, your parentheses, then you put your parameters inside the parentheses. So you have, it's like a variable that you are putting inside. The parameters are just the variable that you put that are supposed to be used there. So you have int in the first number, and then int second num sorry, it's supposed to be one word, second number, yeah, or maybe second num, yeah, maybe something like that. Yeah, second num. So when you open your curly braces, you press enter, then in between them you output what, okay, okay, Actually, let's rather output the values inside a function, a different function. So in this one, will not bring the curly braces. This ones. So we'll use this int min here. So we'll bring this one here. So int min, then this. So maybe you want to output two numbers. So you have to call the function. When you are outputting it, you call the function. So to call it, you type the name of the function, which is the sum. So sum. Then open a parenthesis. Then you input the values for the first number and the second number. So the first number would like to add maybe 5 comma, sorry, in here, then 5 comma, um maybe 7. Yep. Then you and yeah. So it is meant to find the sum of the two numbers. Okay. So you run this code. Okay. Is it okay? It's rather find sum, not sum. And just rather find sum. So input the first number, the second number, and then just try to run the code and see. So find sum, then see out. So this. Okay, I think we'll declare something here. So the sum should be equal to first number plus second number. Yes. Oh, yes. So you have to declare the action in here. So after declaring the action, then you now see out the function, whatever is being done in that function here. Yes. So you can just declare it there, then you call it in a different function. This is our int main function. This is our find sum function. So you use it to find the sum of the two. Okay. So that's about the function declaration and calling them out, calling the function out actually. There are other keywords that I can use when using when doing the function. Other return type, we have the void. Also we have int, we have the void. The void is like no specific data type. Yes, so it's kind of does not have a specific data type. So you, whatever you input into it is what that's what it's going to accept. Yes, but with the int, which is at the beginning here, it means what the parameters that you put in here should be integers. Yes, so that's basically about the functions and this. So mm, you can actually set uh, the values for the parameters. Yes, so maybe something like this. You can actually set maybe something like 32, 41. So let me just close this. Yeah. Fine, so okay, Control S. Yeah. So okay, still you have to still means you have to define what should happen with the codes inside. So sum will be equal to, you have to define what should happen to the parameters. So in these are integers, so we work with int. So the sum will be equal to first number plus second number. So this one, when you are doing the C out, you don't need to specify the values here in this bracket. Yes, all you have to do is to define the values here, give it a specific value, and then you just type the name of the function here, and then it prints out the function. It prints out the value of the function, yeah, of the parameters that you are adding. Okay, so mm, I think that's all for today.